Hello everyone, it is Iron Warrior Cosplay here for another cosplay Q&A. My guest tonight has a cosplay name, but also doesn't have a cosplay name, because my guest tonight is the lovely Natalie from No Name Cosplay. Natalie, how are you? It has been forever and a day.
It's been way, way too long. And I am very well, thank you. I hope you are too.
I'm alright, lockdown's getting everybody down, but I did split my tractor today, which makes me very happy. Not in a bad way, before anyone thinks like, oh no, he split his tractor. No, I split it because I need to change the clutch in it, but I had issues because the bearing had welded itself on. Long story. Anyway, before we do start, I want to show people a cool new thing, because I recently purchased some new lighting. So I have lighting now. You can see my handsome face and my sign, and it's better than the giant LED, well, the giant light over there that doesn't really light me up properly, but I have this light. Let me know what you guys think, because I absolutely love this one. We have a bunch of people saying hello, including Nocturne's Forge. Andrew saying hello. How are you, Natalie?
Hi, Andrew.
Right. It is freezing cold in the workshop, so you see me doing this. I'm warming my hands up on the heater that I've got down under my desk. I take it it's much warmer where you are.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Still just cardigan weather.
Cardigan weather. Here's me in my big wintry sort of like, it's too cold. But honestly, with this whole weather change suddenly, because it was really nice the other day, we were out doing some work, and then now it's torrential rain. I don't know if anyone can hear, but there is rain happening right now on the roof of the workshop. And as you guys know from previous streams, if you can suddenly hear a really loud hissing noise in the background, it's the microphone picking up the horribleness that is the heavy rain. But apparently there's a big storm coming in soon. I don't know if this is true. There's a big storm coming into the UK soon, and I'm not sure when that's happening, but I'm going to have to look up, and I'm going to have to look up what it's called and everything, but you know, it's the way it is. So, let's get down to the cosplay questions. We have a bunch. If you guys would like to ask Natalie any questions at all, please throw them into the chat. My mods will throw them into my phone here. We have our own chat here with the cosplay questions and everything that goes on, so that I can ask them to Natalie between us. Oh, right, yes, it's true. It's called Storm Alex. Storm Alex is coming in. So, it's going to be interesting when Storm Alex kicks in. So, Natalie, please tell, how long have you been cosplaying?
Almost exactly 5 years.
Are you one of those people who knows to the date? Because I have no idea. I'm just like, it was like, I was 17, 18, something like that. But do you know, like, to the date?
I have the date. It obviously it was an event that I went to, and through the power of Facebook, it always pops up in my memories. So
That's
it's really easy to
awesome.
remember.
Do you know what? That's quite an interesting way of doing it. That's quite an interesting way of doing it. I might have to go back and look at my first steampunk. I know when my first steampunk outing was, so I'll have to go look at that. I'll use that as my date. Thanks for that. I really appreciate that, because now I can sort of know roughly when I started, so I can be like, oh, I started roughly on this date. That'd be kind of cool. But 5 years, though, seeing all the cosplays that you've done, all 900 of them, I mean, honestly, it's really funny. I go onto your Instagram, and it's almost every other day there's like just brand new cosplay, and I'm just like, how is she doing this? Like, here's me, like, I'll build a prop. That'll do. I've got a prop. That's really cool. And you're like, here are my 4 other new cosplays, everybody. And I'm like, you're a mad sewing, throwing fabric at your sewing machine. I imagine it's just you, a sewing machine, and a light, and then just costumes flinging out left, right, and center.
Pretty much. I tend to work on at least 5 to 6 at a time, and as soon as one's finished, I'll start something else.
So
I get bored.
So everyone heard that? I think everyone heard that. I work on 5 or 6 at a time. 5 or 6. What? That's brilliant. That is such an insane amount of cosplay. That's crazy amount of cosplay.
No, it's like take for instance the Canoness that I made.
Oh yeah,
Um,
awesome
I
cosplay.
made her alongside making a completely sewing cosplay. The Canoness is foam, so while stuff was setting and while paint was drying, I had stuff to be getting on with,
That's
and that's
madness.
literally how I work. I don't know. I've been a chef for the last 20 years, and
I like that. 20 years.
yeah, and you just get used to like multitasking, and I work well under deadlines, but as I'm getting older, the deadlines are, I'm starting to let them go a little bit now.
So
So I'm
if
just make for me.
if I was ever to, let's say you and I would ever to work in this workshop together, and I was working on something for you on my work table, and you were over there working on something like that, and you're like, is this purity seal ready yet? And I'm like, yes, chef. And I have to run over and just hand it to you. So, yes, chef. And you're like, it's the wrong color, you fucking donkey. You start beating me.
No, you'd probably just get the look.
Just the look, everyone knows the look. Like, really, like, yeah. Me,
Yeah,
I just tend to grab my power shovel, just donk. That's always just, always funny like that. But genuinely though, 5 or 6 cosplays at a time, that is crazy craftsmanship. I mean, don't get me wrong. This year since COVID, well, actually no, I say this year since COVID started up until now, I made the chainsword, the chain axe, the power hammer, the Krieg rifle, and the Krieg rifle. So I've made 6 props this year. So that's 6 props I've made since COVID started. So however many months, which isn't, to me, that's not bad going, and that's to me that's pretty decent. I'm quite happy with that, and they're quite big props too. But here's
it's
just
nice,
5 or 6 total, complete, actual full cosplays like in a row. That is crazy. I love it. That's fantastic. So, So, why do you cosplay then? What was the thing that like got you? What was the thing that the cosplay bug, as I call it, like?
It was literally the confidence. People who follow me on Instagram, I'm quite open about the body dysmorphia disorder that I suffer from, as well with some mental health and anxiety issues, as well as other stuff. But I find that cosplay is a complete escape from all that. I'm just out doing what I love. I'm having fun. 9 times out of 10, I'm often up to mischief somewhere and roping my friends in.
I think let's change that. That's 10 out of 10. That's every con. Like every single 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Don't reduce the number. We all know it's 10 out of 10. Every con you're always running around like, let's go do this.
Well, it's in the name, isn't it? It's costume play.
Exactly, it's costume and play. It's just costume and play. You play like while wearing a costume. Yeah, like we should do some. We'll have an interesting game at some point where we should run over and just do some Dalek tipping. Just go over and just flip a Dalek over and just run away. I'm joking. Let's not do that. Although I think Amy in chat would be like, "Lol, let's flip a Dalek."
It could be revenge for the war sweating.
She's actually in chat right now, and it's absolutely brilliant. But honestly, the openness that you have on your Instagram is really, really nice to see, because, like, I mean, I try to be as open as I can be, but it's always, I want to open that door a little bit, but I don't want to open it too much, because then I feel like I feel like I'm oversharing or something, or like burdening somebody with something and that kind of thing. That's just me though.
It does take a while to get past that, but literally the way to look at it is I've had so many people message me who suffer from the same conditions that I do. Some have become really good friends, and just sometimes just having someone else that's like, I understand what it's like, just to have that
to have
bit
somebody
of
who
camaraderie.
understands,
yeah, and they know that you've got their back, and they can talk to you about stuff and come to you for advice, because obviously some of the stuff I deal with does affect the cosplay, and it's I love to be able to share the little tips that I've learned over the years. Like, this is the way to survive a con.
This is the way to survive a con. Just
Yeah.
loads of caffeine and sugar and like interesting Japanese candies and drinks and stuff, and to run around like a mad person. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But
Not with fibro. No, sugar is bad for
oh,
fibro.
is it? Ah, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
Neo? Did it get darker with you just now in your room, or is it because the sun? Because it's really funny. It got a little bit dark just now, but it got really dark. The mannequin suddenly looked more scary. It was just all black, and you couldn't quite see that it didn't have a head, and it was just like that was a little bit terrifying. But I'm glad. There you go. You got a light going. That's awesome.
You should.
It got dark suddenly, and I was just like,
you should walk through the living room in the middle of the night.
oh God, no, that would be awful. If I bumped into a mannequin, knowing me, I'd bump into a mannequin and be like, oh, I'm terribly sorry.
Well, I've got 4 of them.
Oh wow, 4.
And whenever I move them around, if you move them around, you have to remember where you've put them, because there's nothing more freaky than waking up and it's like dimly lit in the living room, and it's like, hang on, that's not where the mannequin is. Is that a person?
I would, if I lived with someone who had a bunch of mannequins, I would absolutely go up and put one behind a door or like next to a door, and then leave. And then when they open the door, there'd be a mannequin stood there and just really, really shit them up. That'd be really. But then I'm an awful human being like that. But it's the way it is. Also, thank you so much, Artemis Blackfire, for the host. You always host me. I really, really appreciate that. Also, people are saying caffeine for the win. Also, alcohol injected into your veins. Snorts line of energy drink. Harry, no, don't snort a line of energy drink. Get the get those energy drink powders instead. Snort that. Don't snort the actual energy drink itself. It's too bubbly. With the fact that you've been doing, oh, sorry, say again.
Peanuts. That's my tip.
Peanuts is your tip. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Salted or unsalted?
Unsalted preferably, but if it's a costume like some of the crazy stuff I wear, you need to replace the salt. So yeah, salted as well. But yeah, peanuts the way to go.
Peanuts. There you go. If you're not allergic to them, peanuts for the win. You say you've been cosplaying now for 5 years. You said just coming up to 5 years.
Gordon.
Yep, a couple of weeks ago.
Would you say?
2-3 weeks ago?
Would you say you'd see yourself cosplaying in 10 years' time? Would you still be cosplaying in 10 years' time?
Oh hell yes.
That's what I like to hear.
Why would I stop?
That's what I like to hear. I like that.
I'll in 10 years' time, I'll be rocking it in my 50s. So come on.
Hell yeah! I mean, I've told Harry we're going to be pensioners with Zimmer frames. We're going to make an Iron Warrior size Zimmer frame for me to walk around with when I'm in my walking around like giant Zimmer frame for my Iron Warrior. Why the hell not? Also, thank you so much, Amy, for the host. Amy was Zero Cosplay, who I had on the other night on Tuesday. So for you guys who want to know, she is in chat and she is awesome as always. Thank you so much for coming on again. You actually had Amy here at the workshop today, which was really fun. She just popped by to say hi. There's the hearts. It was really nice, so that was really fun to see people. Also, I loved her reaction, which was like, wow, it's a huge workshop. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty big, but it's just like, I need a bit more space. And it was just the look of, what? Sorry. So
You're a cosplay. You always need more space.
I need more space. There's too much foam. There's too much foam. I need more space. But then I do and I don't. It depends. I need to get rid of some things, and then I need to replace them with other things. But then, don't tell anyone. When it comes to the building side of things, because I know you do a lot of sewing, but you also have ventured into the world of foam and stuff now, foam fabrication and that kind of stuff. Would you say you prefer to work alone when you build your cosplays, or would you prefer to work with other people?
I'm a terrible loner.
It's fine. You're allowed to be. It's just like it's just an interesting. It's an interesting question to ask, because some people would be like, you know what, I don't mind like building my own cosplays, but I prefer to work with other people because of the company, that kind of stuff.
No, even my poor fiance is banished from the craft room when the mood takes me. It's like, yeah, I'll see you later, love.
Banished. I love that. Banished. Like, you are banished.
But I think that comes from, I mean, pretty much since day one, I've been in competitive cosplay.
Yeah, you've won a lot of competitions, haven't you?
Yeah. But yeah, with
Come on, don't be modest. You've won a fair few.
yeah, a few. Oh gosh, gun will shine now. But yeah, it's I don't actually. Well, I didn't. I've got one more competition coming up, and then I'm retiring from competing.
Oh right,
It's
then
just-
you won't be competing anymore then. Oh, that's any reason why or?
Well, obviously, with running the UK CGF events, the cosplay zone setup is quite a lot of work behind the scenes. You know,
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
contacting cosplayers, matching up expenses, making, you know, it's, yeah, there's a lot of paperwork involved, and keeping you lot in check as well. That's a full-time job in itself.
Yeah, it is. It's mainly just when I arrive, it's mainly me running around being like, can I have a second table? I have too much stuff. Can I go get a second table? And I run off and go get a second table. But yeah, it does get a bit hectic when you're setting up at a con. I've set up a fair few, and I've torn down a fair few as well, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find tearing down is worse than setting up sometimes.
Yeah, especially when vendors and people don't clean up after themselves.
Oh yeah, and then you got to go and clean everything up, and got to get that big double brush and just brush the whole thing.
Oh, I you know, using that at the beginning of the year, that was so much fun. Oh, look, I got a new
It's
toy.
huge, and it's absolutely awesome, and it works really, really well. With obviously you said you prefer to work alone when you come to do that. Would there be any point where you'd be like, hell yeah, I'll build a prop with someone, and you go and work with them, and both of you together build a singular prop, or is it completely like foot down? I am a solo prop maker. It's foot down. You're a solo prop maker. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Not everyone. Exactly.
It's got to be done my way, and yeah, I just can't let it go.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It all depends on, like, you know, who you are as a cosplayer, and if your thing is I'm a solo cosplayer, then that is absolutely fine. That is absolutely fine.
I do love a group up.
Say again.
I do love it when we group up with cosplayers, when you make a cosplay group from a particular series or fandom.
Absolutely. Like when you guys did, well, you do almost every time at every different UK CGF, don't you? You pick a theme. I like that.
Yeah, it's not, you know, strict, like it has to be this.
No, of course.
We do with a bit of a theme, which is really nice. Again,
I know you did. What was it? Was it Disney? Was one of the ones you did while we were at a con once? I think you've done Disney a few times now. But there were so many of you in just so many different Disney cosplays, and it was so nice to see. And then obviously the two most beautiful and most amazing Disney princesses, myself and Harry, just stood there in the Space Marine and his Raider of Krieg, just both of us adorable Disney princesses as we are. Because apparently, according to the chat, and especially Artemis Blackfire, I'm a Disney princess, which is interesting to say the least.
If you are it.
Honestly, oh look, I love your cat. Look at that. I love cats. Don't even. Everyone in chat is spamming cat. Cat. Look, there's a cat. There's a cat on screen. I love cats. Cats are so cute. Oh, what's your cat called?
Shadow.
Shadow.
Yeah, she likes to fight badgers, this one.
Fight badgers. Hell of a cat. Fucking hell of a cat.
And she's gone.
We live the cats. We love the cats. We love the cats.
Cat life.
Well, this is going to be an interesting one because this question, considering the amount of cosplays you have, yeah, have you ever been to a laundromat? You know when you go to a laundromat and they hold the button down and the carousel of clothes just goes around. I can imagine that's you picking your cosplay. Like I'm going to the UKCGF. Which costume is it? Like, or you type in a number and suddenly your costume just comes out of nowhere. But this question for you is: what's your favorite cosplay? Which is madness considering the amount you have.
But I do have an absolute firm favourite.
Go on. Need to know.
And it is the Canoness.
Yeah, really, 100%.
I didn't think I would love her much, but she's comfortable.
Yeah.
I literally spent the entire day. I crawled over fucking rocks in her, and she held up like a trooper. She's so comfortable, and it's really my jam. It's like I'm all covered, and I just feel badass.
Yeah. I can't wait to see you in person wearing the Canoness, though. I can't wait to see you in person. Because it's going to be badass. You know it's going to be awesome. Because it's just going to be us there in, like, our full cosplays. Just be like, hell yeah, we're badass. Let's just walk around. We'll just walk around together. Obviously, as I've said, being an absolutely filthy heretic, you and I are absolutely going to have fighting photos. We've got to have photos of us killing each other. Got to have a photo of me blasting your face off with my gun. You're going to have to get one of chopping my head off, and we're going to have to do all the cool stuff. So it's going to be awesome, and I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, Harry will be there. Harry and you versus me, because Harry's a filthy loyalist. But soon he won't be. He won't be soon. Hopefully when his Iron Guardsman is done, he'll be chaos. Chaos! Yeah, let's get some chaos in the chat. No one's going to put chaos in the chat. Love chaos.
I shall guide him back towards the light.
Also, really funny, Pinkthorn just put takes notes. just takes notes. I love that. Hell yeah, Nocturne's Forge, you are absolutely invited. If you ever decide to get your Space Marine back out of the loft and come to a UK CGF and just turn up, and it'll be the Iron Warrior versus you three filthy loyalists.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get really cool pictures. That'd be absolutely no chaos in the chat. Yeah, there's probably not going to be any, so I'm going to have to do it myself. There you go. There we go. Yay, chaos. Woo, chaos. Chaos in the chat. Yeah, chaos. But honestly, I love that it's the Canoness that's your favourite. That really makes me happy. Because I thought it would have been, I don't know, literally any other one. I didn't expect it to be that. I did go, like, I really hope it's that one. But I'm really glad that it is that. Because honestly, I love that one. But watching you make it, I was just like, it's going to be so cool.
I didn't expect to like it. Well, I knew I'd like it.
Well, yeah,
I knew
but
I'd
you
love
never
it.
expected it to be the number one.
No, and it's crazy. It's yeah, and it's got everything that I love to do in it. There's so much detail in it, and I love it.
Also, remember, you currently have, it's on my little list, and I have the barrel printed as well from Nocturne's Forge, actually, who's in chat. Your gun, the one that you've commissioned. So remember about that. Then I can get that sorted for you. Because that would look really cool going with the Canoness, just you there with like your sword and gun, like this, just like some badass, like just kicking ass at a con. That'd be really, really cool to see. So
don't look at it too closely.
This is a two-sided coin. This is a two-sided question. What is the most expensive cosplay you've made to date? You can tell us which one it is, but you don't have to tell us how much it was, because some people are like, I don't want to tell you how much, and that's fine. Is it Queenie, is it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are we talking serious bucks? Are we talking serious bucks? All of the money. Were you literally just like, let's get this built? Just throwing money.
Let's just say there's 16 meters of gold brocade.
Ooh.
And that's just one lot of the fabrics.
Man.
Yeah, the fabrics alone have been a lot.
I've got a seamstress friend who's told me about that, so I can guess that's a bit serious. Don't move out. But we have the opposite side of the coin. What's the cheapest cosplay you've ever made? Like, what's the most bang for your buck sort of?
It's the Canoness. She was free.
No way! That's awesome. That's so cool to hear. Not only is it your favorite cosplay, it's also your cheapest. That's insane. I love that.
It's literally all scraps that I had, and then Polyprops did a free foam tour at the end of the.
They were meant to come to
and they
Wales.
were giving away.
They were meant to come to Wales.
Yeah.
Sad times they didn't, which is a shame because I love free foam. I love free foam.
But you know, obviously, as soon as it's safe to do so, they will probably get the foam tour back on, and you know, they're really great guys. And so all the foam came from what I was given there. The fabrics was all stuff that I had here. Same with the embroidery, and all the paint and everything was literally what I've got left over. She didn't cost a penny.
That is, I wish that was the same. I wish that was the same for the Iron Warrior. I wish I could be like, it didn't cost me a thing. I literally did what you did with Queenie, and I was just like,
making it rain.
As soon as a paycheck could come in, it'd be like, oh, cool. That's okay, it's gone. All right, there you go. And then suddenly the suit would increase in mass. I'm like, oh, cool. So, you know, but I'm sure there's a bunch of people in chat who'd probably say the same because, goddamn, like cosplay isn't that cheap, but then it also can be incredibly expensive. It can be incredibly expensive, but it also can be incredibly cheap. It's sort of. It depends what you do. For example, my Krieg is not going to cost as much as some other cosplays, but he's still going to cost a bit of money. But I was worried at one point. I was like, oh no, where am I going to find a coat? And I realized I've got a real, it's a genuine Russian greatcoat, which I'm going to use. So that's going to be really cool. But
it's a classic cosplay.
God help me if I wear that during the summer, because it's a real Russian greatcoat, and it is for like snow fighting. It's so warm it's just beyond. I barely wear it. You watch now, when it starts snowing and I have to go out shopping, that's what I wear. But man alive, it is so funny walking around like Tesco or Morrison's with a trolley and a giant Russian greatcoat. Like, so funny. It's so funny. I don't think I really need to ask you this one, but for the nice boys and girls in chat, I'm definitely going to. What is your favorite convention?
LFCC.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I didn't expect that. See, I'm glad I asked that now. It's
quite controversial, but I see all of my friends from all around the country.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I see there, I only get to see once a year, and I only see at that event. And
that's an interesting one.
Obviously, because the Somerset cosplayers have a table there as well.
Yeah.
I get to hang out with some pretty freaking cool people all weekend, and it's amazing.
It is absolutely awesome. I do love hanging around with the Somerset cosplays. I actually have the badge that I got given still. I still have that badge, and I have it over on my boards over there. I just put it on there. I just glued it onto there. I was like, that'll do. Keep it there, and tapped it, and it's like, it's there. I loved that. When I became an official member of the Insane People Club. It's like, you're one of us now. It's like, oh no. One of us. I absolutely love it. There you go. Bye, Dragonheart. Have fun. Eat your food. Ingueta. All that jazz. Have fun. One of my mods is going to eat, so she is jumping out. We have Ranger of Krieg in the chat as well, so he'll be checking out for questions and throwing them my way. Right. What is your favorite part of cosplay? That's an interesting one.
Ooh. It's kind of my favorite, and the part I hate is the making of it.
Do you know what? I get where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from.
It's really weird. It's like the stress that you go through for patterning stuff out, and fabric is not forgiving. If you make a boo-boo, then forget about it. You've got to unpick it and start again, or depending on the base fabric, you might just have to throw the whole lot away and start again.
Man alive, I've never really done much with fabric, so I wouldn't know really in terms of how bad it can be. I know with foam, if you kind of cock up, there is a way to fix it. It depends how bad you cock up, really.
Yeah.
But that's crazy.
I think you do well with fabric personally, because you have got the foam background and there's a lot of the same skills involved.
Well, I mean, I have a sewing machine. You know what sewing machine I have. It's a big cast iron Singer sewing machine that you crank with your hands.
I'm so jealous of it.
I don't know why, because everyone else can just go like brrr, brrr, and then click, 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 and brrr, and then just do different pattern stuff. Whereas I'm like click, 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 and it could just do one stitch. I'm like click, click, click. It's just, and I go really slowly because I want to make sure I do it right and I keep the thing straight. And man alive, but I do look after it. I love my grandmother gave it to me, and I absolutely love that sewing machine. It is part of the family now, and I do use it occasionally when I like, for example, my Ghostbusters patch on my Ghostbusters hat. I stitched that on with the sewing machine, and people are like, how did you manage to stitch that on the sewing machine? And I was like, I just made it flat and just stitched around it. I went halfway, yeah. I stopped, took it off, flipped the hat around, and then did the other side. It was just but there are people out there I know who have like overlockers and custom pattern machines which will stitch and logo for you and that kind of stuff, and I can't.
No, that's the dream. I've got just a straight sewing machine.
Hey, trust me. Considering that it's just a straight sewing machine, you've done a million cosplays with it, so I'd say it's sort of worth its weight in gold by now, probably, isn't it?
Well, in the 5 years, this is my second.
Oh, that's your second now. Oh, there you go.
That's my second, yeah. Oogie Boogie killed my first one. Don't ever sew Hessian.
Yeah. Well, you say that like I used hot glue on mine. Like when I was doing my old Iron Warrior cape, I used hot glue instead of sewing it because it worked though. It worked fine, and it held together for a year, and then I got a new one. So yeah, but it works. It works as it is. Some people are saying it's like foam, but it folds more easily. I have fingers, can't use a sewing machine. They scare me. Just have a basic ass sewing machine and an entry level overlocker, and that's it. Well, I mean, an overlocker is still an overlocker, though. That's still a monster of a machine.
That is still the dream, the overlocker. Oh.
So, I've asked you what your favorite convention is, but now I want to ask you, sort of, obviously, like I asked you like your favorite part of cosplay, and you said it was sort of the making, but then it's also it's as you said, it's like a two-sided coin. Like I keep saying, it's a two-sided coin. But what is your least favorite part of cosplay? That isn't the downside to prop making or costume making. But what's the least favorite part of your cosplay? Because I always ask the good side and the bad side for this one.
Sometimes other cosplayers.
Oh, absolutely, that is a given. That's an absolute given. Obviously, we won't be naming any names.
Oh no, we don't need to. No, it's just general.
There's you. Like, we don't need to. They know who they are. But no, I know what you mean. But yeah, I mean, obviously, in every sort of cosplay, sort of, or a fandom or anything, there's always going to be massive negativity. Like when I found out that there's the Doctor Who community is very bad for it apparently, and I that shocked me. I was shooketh that I thought Doctor Who was like all love and nice, and it was like no, apparently it's incredibly toxic, and I was just like oh
no,
I literally had no idea.
No, it's why it took me 5 years to pluck up the courage to cosplay from Doctor Who. I grew up watching that shit. I love Doctor Who, but it took me till this year to finally make something from it. And I didn't, I didn't get any negativity back from it. So
good. I'm glad you
must have been
didn't.
lucky.
But man, I wonder if anyone in chat has sort of had that with if you're a Doctor Who cosplayer, for example, or cosplay something from Doctor Who. Have you guys experienced any like massive negativity from the Doctor Who community? Because that really, I had no idea. Like, don't get me wrong. I know the Warhammer community can be a bit shitty. I've had my fair share of negativity from the the Warhammer community, but there's also a huge pile of really awesome and beautiful human beings who just support you like crazy, aka everyone in chat, everyone on my cosplay page and Instagram and yada yada. It's awesome. But yeah, just the Doctor Who one really shocked me. Well, that's something I should ask you then. What's your favorite fandom? If you had to pick a fandom that you really, really enjoy, something that you truly... Which one?
Final Fantasy, hands down.
Final Fantasy. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Final Fantasy is awesome. I've seen a fair few Final Fantasy cosplayers, and I've not really seen... I mean, I know... Actually, funny thing, going up when I did the cosplay zine competition, it came down to me and a Final Fantasy cosplayer, and that was insane. That was crazy. That was absolutely madness. I was like, oh no, I'm going to lose, and I won, and I was like, oh crap. That was awesome. But I've got a few answers here from my question just now. I love Who with all my being, but I'm a member of zero groups, etc., because they're mental. Not Doctor Who, mainly the DC community. Only bad Who cosplay experience I experience is unwanted attention from certain fellas. That's I can understand that. That's. I mean, I'm not gonna lie though. I say I understand that. I mean, I understand it, but I've never experienced it. It's not something I've experienced personally, although a funny Sci-Fi Weekender experience was a woman who came up to me and David Roth and was trying to bump and grind against me and David Roth while we were dancing. We were like, what the hell's going on? She was very drunk. Very, very drunk. We have a question for you from Casual Props. Question for No Name. Which Final Fantasy is the best Final Fantasy?
10.
8. There we go. Got the answer there. Yeah, it is 8. It is 8.
Final Fantasy 10.
8. 8's the best.
Because it's got Lulu in.
8's the best because it's the coolest. I just, I'm not gonna lie. This could go on all night with just you going 10 and me going 8. Just like, I know there's a lot of people in chat who are like 7's the best, and some people say 8, some people say 10, and it's quite funny. But honestly, if you guys prefer a specific Final Fantasy, that's not a problem at all. But a Casual Prop says, and why is the order 9, 7, 6, and 10? I don't know. There should be an 8 in there as well, because 8's in there somewhere. But a lot of people are saying Final Fantasy X any day. Artemis Blackfire said, I dressed up as Lulu. To be fair, Lulu's cool. Lulu is awesome. Everyone's very happy with Lulu. Lulu's very awesome.
Love Lulu.
Obviously, now I've asked you your favorite part of cosplay, and also your least part of cosplay, least favorite part of cosplay. But how do you view yourself as a cosplayer? This is always an interesting one because you can sort of big yourself up, and that's absolutely cool if you do. It's really cool to see people just big themselves up. But how do you view yourself as a cosplayer?
I literally think I've been the luckiest bitch in the world.
Do go on.
Like literally, I've only been doing it for 5 years, and the experiences and just the experience and opportunities that I've been given through cosplay is just insane. Thanks to COVID, I'm still, because the Southwest Cosplay Championships were cancelled this year.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm still the reigning Southwest champion, which is so funny.
That's the way. The reigning champ. What are you going to have to go in dressed in your cosplay and defend your belt? Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Well,
Can you imagine if that's how they did it? They just got people in their cosplays to wrestle, or like a boxing match, but in like full cosplay. Oh, God, I'd lose if I was in the Iron Warrior. I'd just get pushed over and I'm like, there we go. Like, God damn it. Oh man.
see, I won that in the Angel of Death, so I think I'd stand a pretty good chance. I just knocked them out with my wings.
I was going to say, just get your wing and just spin in a circle and just like mince them. It'd be awesome. But at the start, then, what got you into cosplay? Like, what started it all? What was it? Someone, or was it just? Did you go to an event and see people dressed up and thought, do you know what? I'm gonna jump on this. This is like absolutely awesome. Like, what sort of started it all for you?
I actually dressed up at my very first event. A friend of mine, I was going through a pretty shitty time. Just left my husband and was feeling a little bit sorry for myself. So he was like, you know, he knew that I liked nerdy stuff. He knew that I was a huge Marvel fan, huge Final Fantasy fan. And he's like, you know, I think this will be right up our alley. He said, I'm keen to go. And so Tifa Lockhart was I threw together a really bad version of her from Advent Children. I literally spent like 2 hours hand sewing stuff, and yeah, I look back at pictures and it's like, oh my God, what were you doing? But I had the best time, and I've met some lifelong friends on that day, and yeah, it's just been absolutely mind-blowing.
I like that. That's a genuinely really heartfelt, like, how I got into cosplay story. I really like that. I like that though. You say you look back at your first cosplay and you just cringe, but I'm not gonna lie. I do the same. Like when I look back at the first iteration of the Iron Warrior, or I look back at like my first iteration of like my steampunk, which was just me dressed kind of dapper. There was it wasn't blown out of proportion. You know how steampunk is always just blown out of proportion? Like, it's mental. There's loads of bits and trinkets and gears and all that cool stuff. I was literally just in a nice pair of trousers, a brown pair of shoes, a waistcoat, a cravat, like a white shirt, and just my hair was gel because I got my hair cut, but I made sure I got it cut quite thin so I could gel it over and make a side parting. And I did that, and then I put on my glasses, which Palms Nez, I think they're called. They just sit on your nose. I had them, and I had a cane and a very, very short beard. I was just growing my beard in at the time, and a bowler hat, and I held my bowler hat under my side all the time. If I walked outside, no one would really bat an eyelid. They would just like, there goes a very dapper-looking gentleman. They wouldn't be like, there's a steampunk, that kind of thing. Then I look at pictures of me after, and it's like, oh, there it is, because it's all blown out of proportion, giant guns and all that cool stuff. But it is really funny. But it's nice that you sort of got into cosplay, because if you didn't get into cosplay, then I don't think we would have met ever. Because, I mean, we met at UK CGF. I don't think we met before then.
Yep.
And
No.
I remember this year, when we were there, I was like going around being like, hi everyone, and hugging everyone, and Harry was like, no, Derek, don't, because COVID could be a thing. And I was like, oh, okay. And then you came over and gave me the signs with, please do not touch. And I was so sad. I was like, no, I don't want to put these up, but I have to because people will touch everything. So I had to put, like, please don't touch signs up, which is obviously, I know yourself, no one does it. Like, no one I know does it. Unless it's like a very delicate prop or it's for sale. You know, if it's a delicate prop or it's something for sale that's very, very, you know, they don't just let people pick it up. But when people come to my cosplay table, I'm just like, here, have foam weaponry. Here, take pictures with it. It's great fun. But this one, it was kind of difficult going from, like, you know, doing what I normally do, which is hug everyone and say hi to everyone and pick people up and give them weaponry and make them wear my costume, that kind of funny stuff, to trying not to do that, but forgetting a lot and hugging people, and then Harry yelling at me like, Derek, no, stop. And I'm like, sorry, Harry, please don't beat me. And then Harry comes over and beats me. No, he doesn't. No, he's not like that. He just kept going, Derek, stop hugging people. I'm like, oh, yeah, because this virus thing could be this disease or whatever it is could be a thing. And then it came in, and literally, that con finished. The following week, it was like, we're going into lockdown. And I was like, well, thank fuck I got a con in. Like, I got a convention in, at least. It was really, it was really, really crappy. Zoe just said,
Oh.
God, I miss hugs. So do I. I'm not gonna lie. Amy was here today, and I'm probably gonna get it wrong. It was either Toby or Tony. I'm gonna say Toby, I think. I will remember at some point. It's just because I just met this person for the first time, so it's really hard for me to remember names. And just not being able to hug her kind of sucked. It was like, ugh. So we social distanced. We all sat down and social distanced, but it was like, I kind of want to hug someone right now, but I can't. It really sucks. Hugging is definitely something I miss out of everything. But
I didn't think I was missing it. A couple of weeks ago, I did a different kind of event. It was a socially distanced midsummer market.
oh, I saw the pictures from that.
Yeah, where we are, we were allowed to meet up in groups of 30, but we basically kept everyone distanced, and yeah, it went really well. But it was quite lucky because I've kept my social bubble quite small of, my partner, my stepdaughter, and his mum. So I could actually hug people at the event. And then the day after the event started, it was like, no more social bubbles. No, you must stay in your housing. So yeah, it was really nice getting all those hugs in with friends, and
just
and then it was like,
get as many as you can in. Just go up to anyone, even if you don't know them. Just like, can I have a hug? Just hug them.
Can I just have a hug? But I know I'm a hell of a lot luckier than most, though.
I was about to say, literally, that's what I was about to ask now, is where you are now. You said you could meet up in groups of 30. That's changed now, isn't it? It's now like, what, groups of 5 or less? Whatever it is now.
6.
6 now. Ugh. It's just, it's madness.
You're not, you can, it's weird. Groups of up to 6 can, as long as they socially distance or wear face masks, but you can't go to each other's houses.
Interesting.
Every time you go to if you go out to the shop, if you go into a shop, all of the staff and customers have to wear face coverings.
Oh yeah, that's here now. Petrol stations and supermarkets and stuff, you have to wear a mask now. It's compulsory. They will.
This is,
yeah.
This is all workers now as well.
So Morrison's in Carmarthen was pretty bad. There was like 3 or 4 people on the side being like, "Why can't I go in?" Because you don't have a mask. It's like, I don't need a mask. Yes, you do. So it was kind of loads of people arguing with the security about not being able to wear masks and stuff. So, but yeah, I've got my hazard stripe one now because represent the Iron Warriors. Why not? While I'm out and about.
This is my exact argument. You can go really, really far out with these masks. I mean, I'm going full blinged and sequined and stuff, and accessorize, man.
It's awesome. They're kind of stylish.
Exactly. Cool. Use it as a fashion statement as well. It's if you're that adverse to wearing it, just yeah.
That's madness. Oh, also, thank you, Zoe, for coming along. Have fun, and thank you for jumping on. See you soon. Much appreciated. The Modern Scold said sending virtual hugs, which is always nice. I'm still using a bandana. I mean, my friend Brecken uses a bandana because his glasses steams up when he wears a conventional mask. So, it all depends. Each to their own, really. Like, he puts on a normal mask, instantly steams up, puts on a bandana, and it doesn't. So I'm not sure. I don't know if a bandana works very well, but it's like 3 layers, so he's trying it, I guess.
Is it the fact that it's a folded, or is it one of the fitted ones?
Could be because it's folded.
I find I struggle with those, and they're really uncomfortable. I actually used R31 Studios. They've got free patterns up.
Oh, cool.
So I actually used his pattern for my mask, and it's brilliant. There's a kids and adult size. And
brilliant.
We've all got like one for each day of the week now. It's great.
But anyway, enough of COVID. Enough of that horribleness. Let's get back to the awesomeness that is cosplay. If you could give advice to somebody who's just starting off, if somebody asked you like, how would you start off getting into the whole cosplay thing? What advice would you give them?
literally to just go with what you love. That passion and wanting will get you through anything. But literally, just don't. I see so many young cosplayers and they're just starting out, and it's like, well, my friends want me to join them as this character, and my friends want me to do this, my friends want me to do that. It's like, just, balls to that, do it to yourself.
Yeah, pick something your own sort of thing, like what you want to do. That way you have more passion for it.
Exactly, and always be true to what you love.
I like that. That works really, really well. I like that. But obviously, with like obviously you yourself have only just recently got into the foam side of things, haven't you? Like foam fabrication and stuff. Did you look up tutorials and stuff on that, or did you ask a friend, or did you ask somebody for advice? What did you, or did you just dive headfirst in like I did? Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I used to admin a large cosplay group on Facebook, and just seeing people post work in progress. I've been a huge fan of Kamui Cosplay for a long time. Watched her YouTube videos. The same with Alison Tabitha. Absolutely, just watching others, and it was like, I did start really early on with some very basic foam bits. It was literally just cut the shape out and stuck on. There was nothing.
Fair, that works, I guess.
Yeah, I somehow managed to get to the LFCC finals in a terribly built foam thing, though. I
mean, guy, if you got to the finals, that's great. I mean, finals are awesome. Like,
yeah, but it was so bad. It was literally, I'd cut out a piece of, I hadn't shaped it or anything. I just literally cut this shape out and glued it to a pair of boots.
I mean,
hey,
if it got you to the finals and it worked, then it's fine. I mean, if it didn't get you to the finals and it kept falling off, then it didn't work. But it stayed on and it got you to the finals, so it works. So it's, I mean, like what do they say? If it's stupid but it works, it's not stupid, or whatever it is. I'm not sure what the saying is, but I've done it myself. I'm like, wait, this won't hold, and I'm like, oh, I'll give it a try, and it turns out it's better than if I had done it properly. And it's like, hey, it's fucking stupid, but it works.
I like to think I am the queen of winging it. I don't
literally, on some cases. No. Welcome to Iron Warrior Cosplay's terrible pun stream, because I'm a punny guy. I will be quiet now. Go on, No Name Cosplay. Give us your funniest cosplay story. It's the funniest cosplay story. Something funny that's happened to you. Yeah, I bet there's a few. I bet there's some hilarious stuff you could tell us.
There are. But although you are an over 18 channel, I am going to go with a slightly more PG one.
That's absolutely fine. Everyone in chat doesn't mind. This channel is very much like open to swearing and crude double entendre.
See, it's just completely built up, but it was my funniest moment in cosplay, and I teamed up with Zero Cosplay last year in her amazing Oogie Boogie ball gown.
Oh, don't get me. I love her Oogie Boogie ball gown. Oh,
isn't it amazing?
That cosplay ruins me. I love it. I'm like, it's so pretty. I love it.
And I got to play her husband all day. It was amazing. But yeah, we actually had we had a small Nightmare Before Christmas display, and there was a life-size Jack and Sally in there, and people would go in and have photographs, and I literally walked in there before people were let in, and I stood there in my cosplay just completely still for about an hour. I didn't move.
Oh man.
So people had milled around. They'd been past me a few times, and it's like, right, let's get a picture before we go then. And it was literally, they'd come and stand next to me, and it would just be a little a little tickle or just hand the spider to them, and the screams across the con hall, they were absolutely hilarious. I kid you not, I almost wet myself laughing.
There's a few
so
times.
much.
There's a few times I've wanted to try that in the Iron Warrior, because it's just too funny. It's just too funny. The last one. What was that one we did? I'm really bad at remembering where it was. It was a UK CGF. You know, there was the really long room. It was the whole, like, the stage was at the end, and it was a really long room, and then it went on to an L shape at the very bottom. And it was me, Kim. It was like the first big one, because it was the first one we properly got to know each other, the first one that we spoke at and everything. Was that Bristol?
That was Bristol.
That was
Bristol.
Bristol.
That was the...
Because that one was brilliant, because I knew one of the stall holders that was there, and I got chatting to them. It's like, oh, hey, long time no see, yada, yada. And it was the first time I was trying the Space Marine stand out. The one that actually holds the Space Marine stood up in his stature. And I put him up down the bottom when I literally just got out of it. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, Lisa asked me to go down to that little area to hang around and entertain people. But I forgot. And I was like, oh, damn. But it was on the stand. So I got Harry to carry the boot stand. And we wheeled the suit down on the stand. And I put it there. And I went over to a table to sit down and chat to, what's his name? The Transformers cosplayer who cosplays as the police car. Oh, I'm really bad at remembering names. But he was there and I was chatting to him, I was chilling out. And I was like, how are things going? Oh, it's fine. And then he nudges me and goes, what's he doing? And I'm like, oh no, someone's touching my suit or someone's doing something dumb to my suit. So I turn around really quickly. And it was my mate. It was my mate. He was the stall holder. And what he did was he had bought these battery-powered fans. You put the battery on your belt and it has a cable. And you attach the cable to something, and it has like a fan you can adjust to blow air into your face. And he was talking to my suit, and he was like, "Hey, I've got one of these." And he was trying to blow the air under my chin into the helmet instead of like taking the helmet off. And I walked over to him, and I was like, "I'm not in the. I'm here." And he looked at me, looked at the suit, and was like, "Who's in it then?" And I literally took the head off, and I was like, "No one," and it's just empty. And he was just looking at me like, "Oh bloody hell!" And I'm like, "He was like, since when does this happen?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a new stand I made." And honestly, that was so funny. I told Ranger of Krieg, and Ranger of Krieg was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "Yeah, it was really funny." Oh god, I absolutely loved that one. That one absolutely made me crease. I've got so many funny cosplay stories that I reckon you and I could share some really, really funny stuff. Because there was one you told me about that I think you took someone out with your wing, if I'm right.
I'm forever doing that.
No, but it was like a specific one. Apparently, they were talking to their friend. They turned around and it was just wing to the face. I've forgotten which one it was, but it was so funny. I remember you coming up to tell me about that. That was really, really funny.
I got Coral. She's cosplayed by Coral. We were all lined up, and I got called up on stage, and she stood there with a certificate, and I almost knocked her off the stage, almost took the poor girl's head off with my wings as well. Oh
man alive. Oh man alive, that's so funny. That is so funny. I'm not gonna lie, I've almost hit people with my chainsword. Like, someone's called my name behind me and I've turned around and I've almost taken someone out with... And that was my little LARP safe one. Wait until I use my new one, which is like 3 times longer and a much bigger... I'm going to kill someone with it. Like, good God. What is... Well, actually, no. You know your wings?
Yeah.
What's like the internal structure of them? I've never asked you, like, how they keep their shape and, like, what the internal structure is.
It's PVC piping.
Oh, it was just PVC pipe, wasn't it?
Yeah, just PVC pipe, and then each feather is attached on individually because, I'm a sadist.
You were like, how can I ruin my life today? I'm going to do individual. Oh, Ranger of Krieg cosplay. Ranger of Krieg cosplay has a really good one. I was posing with my rifle from Aliens, a con, and stood still for too long for a photo, and when I moved I scared the crap out of someone walking past. They thought I was a statue. That was brilliant. That was actually brilliant. Accidental chainsaw decapitation. Excellent. That is brilliant. I'm dreading building wings and stuff I have coming up. Oh, well, good luck to you, Pinkthorn. I really hope there's loads of tutorials online. So if you do look up something there, you might be able to make it easier on yourself. But I have said to myself...
Or hit me.
Or hit up No Name Cosplay. I'm sure she will be happy to give you tons of advice. I have thought about, like, in the past, like, if I needed to make a set of wings, I would use my laser to cut out all the individual feathers. I'd be like, go laser, cut them out for me. I'm gonna go away and have a cup of tea. I'm just with my laser. I love Laserface is so much fun. He's a really fun little laser.
But then
anyway,
to top it off,
oh, go on.
The day before, the Angel of Death was the cosplay that I made for the Southwest cosplay finals. I also decided the day before the event to hand paint each little brush stroke that makes up the feather spines.
Wow.
'Cause I'm stupid.
Wow, you really hate yourself. Why? Why do you hate yourself? Oh, honestly, don't worry. We've all done it. I've done it.
Don't concrunch. It's not big. It's not clever. Don't concrunch. No. No.
Do you know what's really funny? I don't think I've ever con-crunched that much. Not to that level. I've done little bits where I've like been like, oh no, I need to just glue this little bit before the con the next day. But I've never full on like, let's make this entire prop before tomorrow. That would be insane. That would be mad. Hey, question for you. Who is your favorite cosplayer? It could be a friend, it could be a celebrity, it could be someone you look up to, someone who inspired you. It could be literally anyone. So who is your favorite cosplayer?
Oh, it's easily Alison Tabitha.
Alison Tabitha, yeah?
100,000,000%.
Yeah.
She's kind of got the same attitude towards cosplay as I have. It doesn't have to be made out of expensive stuff. It can be.
Yeah.
But you can also do it on cheap as well. And don't, adjusting stuff. Don't knock it. Not everything has to be absolutely completely from scratch. Obviously it's different if you plan to compete in it.
Yeah, of course.
But to go and attend an event, buy the pair of shorts. And I've learned so much wig skills off watching her. It's absolutely insane.
Oh yeah, because you, Amy, there's a bunch of you. You all do that crazy wig stuff.
Yes.
Yes, but honestly, I've seen some of the stuff you've done, and I've seen some of the stuff Amy's done. Like for example, her Merida recently. Good God, that's a huge wig. She had it in the car. She showed it to me in the car. It was so huge. It was massive. Madness. It's madness. It's madness. But at least it's nice that you have it there and then. You know who your favorite cosplayer is, because honestly, obviously, I have several. But I have several hundred, but everyone knows Adam Savage is the guy I look up to. Don't get me wrong. There's Adam Savage, Evil Ted, and then when it comes to my friends, I've got literally everyone in chat. I've got Bill Duran is really cool. What's his name? Odin Makes. There's so many cosplayers out there that I properly look up to because I've learned something from them, which is super cool. Obviously, I'm not saying if I don't learn something from you, I don't look up to you, but I like loads of cosplayers out there who do really cool stuff, but if they're doing something I've already done or doing copy and pasted exactly what I'm doing, and it's just oh, okay, well, I already know how to do that, but I still think they're cool, that's fair enough. But when I say look up to people, it's like Nocturne's Forge or Ranger of Creed Cosplay or Dragonheart, those kind of people. It's really cool to have friends who are that close to you that you could just be like, I need help doing this, and then they'll help you do it. And that's it. They're like, there you go, I've helped you do it. And I'm like, I fucking love you guys. And I try to do the same back. I try to do something like I've done for Ranger of Krieg when I made his chest piece and laser cut stuff for him, and then he did the dremeling and the painting and all that cool stuff. But help each other out. That's what cosplay is about. Helping each other. It's a community. It's awesome. It's awesome. So in total, how many total conventions have you done? It's a hell of a question, right?
Oh. Holy cow. I think I managed 14 last year. Yeah. I couldn't I couldn't even guesstimate, to be fair. I don't know, maybe 50, 60.
That's a good number, though. That's a hell of a chunk of like events like over the time you've been cosplaying, especially the fact you've been doing 5 years. Like that's a hell of a lot of cosplays. I mean, cosplay, conventions and stuff. That's madness. Nocturne's Forge just put hashtag I taught him to make a sword. Yes, you did. He taught me how to make a sword. I didn't know how to make swords before. And thanks to Nocturne's Forge, I was able to like make my own stuff. Hence, for example, my chainsword. I made that all thanks to Nocturne's Forge. Obviously, I didn't use the exact same techniques to make that one. I used other techniques that, I sort of like, this will work, but it's still the same premise, of course. In terms of all the cosplays that you've got, what's your most uncomfortable? We all know what your comfiest is. You've said it's your current, well, I'd say newest. But what's your most uncomfortable?
Ooh, that's got to be the Angel of Death.
Ooh, really? What's uncomfortable about the Angel? Is it the wings?
It's the weight of the wings. They're not too bad. But obviously by the end of it, because I made a huge rig that like distributes the weight and that starts at my shoulders and ends at my hips, so it's distributed throughout the whole of my torso. But I get, because of the fibro, I do get tired and sore quicker than normal people.
No, that's understandable.
But the entire bottom half of my face is a prosthetic. So having that glued on all day, it gets a bit irritating. It's a mask / prosthetic that comes down to my nose as well. So it's limited breathing through the polymorph teeth that I made. But the weight of it.
But you love wearing it.
I do love wearing it. Yeah. You can't do a thing in it either.
Well, that's what spotters are for. That's what Harrys are for. That's why you have Harrys. Harrys are the best. Spotters are awesome. Spotters are literally... Without spotters, where would we be if we were doing huge cosplays? I don't know. Or complicated cosplays where you can't like touch your face or pee or eat or drink or breathe or anything. So it's kind of nice. Say again?
Without spotters, we'd still be in the car park. No, yes, can't get it.
Yes, I would literally be sat on the back of my van, like, okay, well, I'm here. Like, I don't know what to do now. Like, I'd be able to carry my cosplay in, and that's about it. And I'd be like, okay, now I need to just, Iron Warrior cosplay, you'd be dehydrated. Yes, I would. If I managed to get in my cosplay without a spotter, or if I had somebody just randomly help me into my cosplay, yes, I would just be a very dehydrated Space Marine, and it would be absolutely horrible. So, in terms of cosplaying, when you go to an event, would you prefer to cosplay like as a group, or would you prefer to cosplay as a solo? Like your preferred thing. Would you prefer to cosplay alone, or do you prefer to cosplay in a group?
It absolutely depends on the event.
Yeah.
There's so many pros and cons to both, though. I mean, we're cosplayers. We are attention whores. Let's be honest about it.
Well,
if you are in a group,
I wouldn't wear an Iron Warrior at like 7 foot tall if I wasn't a bit of an attention whore, like a little bit.
Exactly. But yeah. Oh, I've completely lost my train of thought now. What was the question?
Do you prefer to cosplay in a group or solo, like your preferred thing?
Yeah. It's got to be in the group.
Really? Yeah? Because I like, don't get me wrong, I like walking around with Harry doing awesome stuff, but when there's a huge group of us as Warhammer cosplayers, it is just that much better. So I kind of agree.
I do like it. But then I tend to do a lot of niche cosplays as well, a lot of characters that aren't really done that much.
I mean, I've seen a fair few that you've done that I've just been like, oh, who's that from? And I've had to read your text underneath to find out who it was, because as you said, they are quite niche. But some of them I know blatantly. Some of them like, cool, like I know who this is. Like it's awesome. Oh, also, can we get Natalie's links up in the chat again so people can see? For those of you who've just joined, we can grab a bunch of links in chat to No Name Cosplay's many awesome cosplays on her Instagram and Facebook, etc. Do you know, speaking of your name, speaking of No Name Cosplay, here's a question for you. Where did you get your name from? Or, in this case, not get your name from? Or were you just like, I have no name. Oh, No Name Cosplay. Like, how did it come to?
Pretty much legitimately just like that. I was like, I've been cosplaying for maybe about 6 months, and in true fashion, I was making more than one thing at a time, and
5 or 6 at a time.
I just that's now. Back then, it was 1 or 2.
Only 1 or 2 at a time. Good God.
But yeah, I literally started my page, and it was literally somewhere for me to put all my photos in, so that I could see stuff coming together. And I used to be quite detailed in the beginning of how I was making stuff. I did get a bit of flack for, you're not making that right, and I'm like, well, it worked.
Well, screw you, I'm making it anyway.
So I'll do what I want anyway. Yeah. And it was just literally just a way of keeping it all together. But it's like, well, I'm never going to be a big name or, be famous or anything. So, and I can't think of a name, so I'll just have No Name. Oh, No Name.
No Name.
It's so boring, I know.
Yeah, but
it's
it
like,
works, though.
Couldn't think of a name, so No Name.
It works, though, and I love that it just, like, I love it. Also, Pinkthorn just said, only 2 or 3. It was only 2 or 3. Like, God, I love how normal it is to you, but to everyone else, it's like, what? It's great. Also, yeah, I mean, don't forget, Harry is an awesome spotter, but his cosplay is all right, I guess. I mean, no, his cosplay is amazing. I love him for it. He's my creaky boy. I love him. Last question for you, then. Actually, no, second to last question. How important is accuracy to you?
Literally, it depends on the situation. If it's to compete, or if it's to compete,
accurate as possible.
100%, yeah. Unless you can justify changes, whether it's to accommodate physical or some sort of disabilities, or if you've got a reason for changing it, yeah, good. But if it's just for going to events and stuff, hell no. I used to get really caught up with accuracy. I used to be like, it's not exactly right, and that pleat's going the wrong way, and it's not completely symmetrical, and I was bad. But this year during the lockdown, it was like there was no conventions on. I was making for me. I was making whatever the hell I wanted, and I was absolutely living my best life. So yeah,
I like that. Well, it's good to know that competition, you focus on it. You're like, yeah, I need to do this and I need to make sure it's accurate. But I like that when you just want to have fun, you're like, let's just make it. Everyone will know what it is. Like, everyone will know what it is. But if it's missing like these tiny little things, like you can add them later on. If you suddenly fall in love with that cosplay a lot, you're like, I'll add them later on. Like, it's not a huge issue. But I know a lot of people in the Warhammer community as well, they'll complain about scale, they'll complain about height, they'll complain about it's a million different things, and it's just like, eh. But luckily,
I mean, I took so many liberties with the Canoness. It's like,
oh, absolutely, you're allowed to.
She's based on the artwork, but I kind of like my armor decorations better. So
yeah, and that's fine. If you want to make it your own, you make it your own. I mean, that's what I've done with the Iron Warrior. The Iron Warrior, the Iron Warriors didn't really. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on my Iron Warrior that people have bitch and moaned about. And one of the really specific ones that's really gotten a bunch of people is the fact that I've got Iron Warrior Cosplay follow me on Facebook. on the side of my Voltron. People really hate that, and I'm like, why do they hate it so much? It's advertising. I'm allowed to. God damn. But it's like no one's ever walked up and instantly noticed that and gone, that's not right. They've just gone up and gone, huh, that's clever. And I'm like, thank you, because it says in my cosplay in one of the things. But you know how it is. It's crazy. It's crazy. Just never read the comments. Exactly. But what's really nice about my Instagram and my Facebook is I feel like I can read the comments, because sometimes there's occasional one or two weird little shitty ones, but I don't mind. You have to take the good with the bad, but don't go looking for like other websites and then look at the comments, because sometimes it's grim. It's like a really shitty part of the internet. But honestly, it's wonderful to see what you're doing with the Canon S, and obviously I can't wait to see you in the Canon S at a convention with me and Harry and any other 40k cosplay who happens to be there. It would be really cool to see you. My last question to you then, Natalie, is where can we find you?
Well, you can find me mostly on Instagram. I've kind of gone over onto Instagram, Facebook. And that's it, really. That's
pretty much it. Yeah, that's fine. Instagram and Facebook. I started off myself with just the Facebook and then moved over to Instagram, and I'm still learning Instagram. Yeah. It's but luckily, I've got a few friends who are willing to help me out with it, including Ranger of Creed Cosplay and Dragonheart. So it's really, really cool. Comfort comes before accuracy, always. That's fair enough. Comfort is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I built the Iron Warrior, then made it comfortable. But that's just me, because I'm a little bit of a masochist. Because I'm a mad person.
He does have very comfy boots, though.
Well, yeah, now. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got wellies now. Thanks to Nocturne's Forge for the tip. I saw it inside his boots. I'm like, you've got wellies? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, why didn't I think of wellies? Like, so I've got wellies now, so I'm looking forward to just testing those out. I just hope I don't get a blister. That's what I'm worried about, because wellies can... because they're rubber and they tend to fucking, yeah. But anyway, can I just say, honestly, a huge thank you for coming on to my stream. I know you and I have been back and forth on the messages quite a bit, being like, when can you jump on? You're like, I haven't got my rotor yet. I'm like, oh, okay. Are you free in time soon? It's like, the rotor's about to be put out. I'm like, oh, okay. Can you join us? It's like, I can't this week because of the rotor, and I'll tell you next week. I'm like, damn your rotor! Damn and blast! But I'm really, really happy I managed to finally get you on. And honestly, you were more difficult to get onto my stream than Evil Ted. Evil Ted was easier to get on, and he lives in California. He's an absolute legend. I love it. I love it. But honestly, Nat, you are absolutely wonderful. I honestly think that you genuinely deserve more likes and all the cool stuff on your Instagram. People need to go on. As you know, Ranger of Krieger's put No Name Cosplay's links, Facebook and Instagram. If you guys jump on over, show us some love, and we'll absolutely we'll actually get those numbers up and get you out there more. Get you out there more. Show people your 1,000,001 cosplays. Show your cosplay 1,000,001 cosplays.
I need so yeah, if you shameless self-plug, but if anyone needs a wig commission, hit me up.
Plug away. If you guys want wig commissions, she does wig commissions. Absolutely. Oh, also, you should show the really cool stuff you've done for the Christmas market.
Oh, yeah.
Go on, you're welcome to. She was showing me just before the beginning of stream. She was showing me this really cool. How cool are they? Little Christmas market coming up, and then she's done a bunch of really nice headpieces. Like, what do you call them? Hairbands? Are they just called hairbands? Ooh, that's a pretty one. Yeah, they're just like.
So pretty. So yeah, anything that's left over from the market, I'll be flogging. So.
But yeah, absolutely. I love. Do you have the crystal one? The not crystal. Sorry, the ice one. The ice one was super cool.
That one's just in the process. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So sick. So sick.
But yeah, I don't know. This might actually end up getting kept and made into something. I'm really enjoying making my own take on characters.
I have got an idea for you though. If you decide to make one, you should make one where the top of the Statue of Liberty, right? The top of the statue, you can make it out of foam, right? But put a step in it. put like a step around the edge, and get little Ghostbuster Lego figurines and put them on the top of the, you know, like from the second film when they control the Statue of Liberty and it's like, you know you're loving me, keep only higher and higher. You could just have the little... And if you do, I want credits. If you do, I want credits. Ironware Cosplay is a legend.
I'm going to make that the cosplay now. Literally, the entire cosplay.
If you make that entire cosplay, genuinely, if you make that entire cosplay, I will make such an effort to bring my Iron Warrior to a convention, but I will also make the effort of bringing my Ghostbuster cosplay with me.
Yes! That's a deal.
So there you go. That's going to happen. That's a deal. Awesome. There you go. Likes and follows dropped. Loving it. I like this idea. I love it. I think that's a cool one. You can get them really cheap. You can get like knockoff ones. They don't have to be the real ones. The real ones are quite expensive from Lego, but they've got little proton packs on and everything. They've got little proton packs on and everything. And you could get the torch and you could have an LED in it and you could walk around like that and yeah, be really cool. But hey, thank you again for jumping on. I really, really appreciate it. We are absolutely doing another raid. I'm going to try my best to do raids. I want to do raids, and I genuinely want to make sure that you guys, if you guys hang around, we're going to be raiding Live Action Pixel in a second. But before we do, once again, Natalie, thank you so much. It's been really awesome. It's been nice catching up as well. It's been nice catching up.
It has. Thank you so much for inviting me on. It's been lovely. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad. I really hope that I can bring a little bit of niceness to people's horrible lockdown, sort of locked away in their homes and going to work and coming home and that kind of stuff. But my night off tonight, damn it. Oh, damn it. Artemis Blackfire, if you are streaming again, let me know and we can arrange a raid for you. But as of right now, I will jump on and we will raid Live Action Pixel. So / let's raid Live Action Pixel. Live Action Pix. Live Action Pixel. He is absolutely awesome. You guys love him. He's been on my stream along with because he's one of the Sneaky Zebra boys. So it was Gary and him on, and he's one of the Sneaky Zebra boys, and I try to support him as much as I can because he's absolutely awesome. So make sure everyone get your emotes ready. If you don't have emotes, type Iron Within in all capitals with all the exclamation marks and just be awesome. But once again, from me and the lovely No Name Cosplay, thank you so much for joining us, and we shall see you all again soon. Bye for now.
Thank you.